Smackdown.
Morning glory and hallelujah, everybody. It is the morning after with Nick and Big J. Welcome to a new day. Welcome to Thursday, as a matter of fact. It's the 27th day of March, 2025. My name, well, of course, that would be Nick. And then sitting kitty corner for me is radio's Big J. Hey, Big J.
Good day to you, sir.
Good day to you and your family as well.
Thank you. I'll let them know later.
Top of the morning to you, and hopefully it was a restful and peaceful Wednesday to you, and may that extend to your Thursday as well.
Well, we'll see about that.
Okay.
I did some work outside.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
How did it feel?
I'm sore.
Yeah?
I'm sore. Because I wanted to finish up. We're trying to still clean up the leaf mess that was left because I didn't get to it till late.
Okay.
And it got wet and gross. And so there's like a bunch of trouble in the backyard that I'm trying to clean up. But the front porch, there was some old leaves and stuff. And so I have this new blower / vacuum that mulches. It's amazing. It's amazing technology. Whoever thought of it, it works really well, but the leaves have got to be super dry. And really it's intended to be like you blow the leaves into a big pile and then you sub. I was kind of going around like a vacuum, like a stick vacuum, but this thing is really heavy. It comes with a harness. Like you have to say. So
where does it mulch? Does it mulch into the air? Does it have a bag that
it's got a bag?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, I mean, it's pretty impressive. I can't wait for it for fall when you do the leaf collection the proper way.
Sure, but these leaves are just sopped in dog urine at this point.
So everything urine, mine too probably. So wandering in the backyard, drunk at night. So I was trying to get that done, and because we've got a bunch of stuff going on this weekend, and I don't know if I'll get a chance to get to it. So I'm like, I better get going on this.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to rain, allegedly.
Yeah. How did it go?
Good.
Is it done?
No, I did what I could with the mulcher. I still got to dig out. Like, I wasn't ready to get, my hands dirty. Jesus.
Okay. I don't understand the process. One would think that with this machine, you don't need to do anything other than mulch these things up, but you're saying that's not happening?
Well, no, because some of the leaves are so, they're caked. They're like big clumps.
Okay, so you have no choice but to rake and bag.
Okay. I got to get it out the damn shovel, practically. Not let that ever happen again.
Or you could just let them sit there, Big J, and that's their new home, and you never have to worry about them eating.
I would be okay with that, but the boss at home wouldn't. So
fair enough. You got a grade to think about. I understand.
Goddamn grade. It's my whole life now.
Listen, that was your idea.
You
created this hell you now live in.
But hey, I needed it. I needed it to get stuff done.
Let's set the table for today. So please, Big J, get your elbows off the table as we do that. We have an opportunity for us
I thought I was going to do it.
to speak with the one, the only Jessica Jones from Marvel. Of course, we're talking about Krysten Ritter, who starred in Breaking Bad with Aaron Paul, who was in town last night, Big J, putting on a movie at the Egyptian Theater. We also have an opportunity for you to get 2,025 American dollars with inflation domination. We are excited about that. That's happening a little bit after 9 o'clock. Big J is going to give you a nerd alert. We have opportunities for you to go to Machine Head and Under Oath, and Big J win passes to our official X session with Under Oath, which is going to come up the day that they are in town. That would be the 2nd of April. We're very excited to have those guys back in the studio. And we're going to play music like Beck's Loser. It's on right now on the X Rocks.
With Nick and Big J.
Big old day on the blue yesterday, Big J. It was BSU's Pro Day, where everybody has an opportunity to showcase their skills and have a good time in front of NFL scouts and maybe, just maybe, talk them into taking a chance on them in the April draft. Now, attendance was notably larger this year. That is because, Ashten Jenty did not take part in the combine this year, but he was in attendance. He didn't participate in the majority of the workouts that they had or the drills, but he had an opportunity to have a good time and talk to a bunch of people, do some additional interviews. Notable standouts like Ben Dooley were out there, Aman Hassayan were out there, and others kind of participated in the 40-yard dash. Now, the story that I'm reading says that at least 20 NFL teams were represented, but I clearly saw on Boise State's social media yesterday that they claimed that there were representatives from all 32 NFL teams out there at the Pro Day. So I'll take Boise State at their word if that's okay.
Yeah, that's probably the main source you want to go with.
They were, of course, bragging on that point that, people come to Boise State to get in front of NFL
teams.
Check it out! And now, look, you have an opportunity to sit in front of at least all 32 NFL teams if you come and check it out here. So
there's a prospective top first round get, at least.
Yes. BSU's Pro Day marked the last opportunity for players to show off their abilities. The NFL Draft is going to take place on April 24th. That's when it starts, at least. We do believe that Ashten, Jenty, and Amon Hassian are going to be the two most likely candidates to get drafted for BSU. Of course, we will see where Jenty and it goes. A lot of the mock drafts that I have seen have the Raiders taking a shot at him inside the top 10, Big J. Would that upset you if he ended up in Las Vegas?
There's no place that would, unless he went to Seattle. That's the only place that would upset me.
Okay.
Look forward to, at least you get to see plenty of Raiders games around here on occasion. And is it typical for a draft prospect who's going to go so early in the first round, Nick, to not really, he didn't do a 40,
no,
right?
No.
And he didn't do one at the combine.
Right.
So is that typical?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you look at the top three players that are probably like Sanders and Cam Ward. None of them did anything other than individual workouts. They didn't do anything at the combine because they let their kind of play speak for themselves, and they don't want to do anything that could possibly hurt their stock. And that's exactly what's happening. Jenty is going to be picked high.
Yeah, when you have a season like he did, it's all on tape, baby.
That's right. And that's exactly what the quarterbacks are thinking as well. That a lot of the top picks don't do this anymore at the combine. It just there's no benefit for them to do any of that stuff.
It can only do you harm.
That is correct. And so you tweak something or you do something bad in a drill, and next thing you know, you're no longer the number 1 overall pick, or you're no longer a top 10 pick. It could really just damage you.
How
more
do they
than
know how fast he runs?
Well, I mean, again, they have the tape and they have numbers that he's done plenty of other times, and so it's probably the equivalent of that. And then there's also individual workouts where they will do that kind of stuff. Like Cam Ward yesterday threw for the Titans and had an individual workout. I promise you, he ran a 40 there, did a bunch of throwing drills. They kind of got an idea of what he's done. But as we have proven in the past, these combine warriors, these workout warriors, these actual individual workout people, like, listen, I don't think that a lot of the people that got drafted as high as they have would have done it if they didn't have these workout crazy kind of things, but that doesn't translate to game time. And I'd rather have a guy that does it on film than runs a 40 and 4-2.
Yeah, absolutely.
No offense. That's just more important to me. You can prove you can play, you can prove you can win, and I believe that a lot of the people up there have an opportunity to do that. It's those that have those crazy combine numbers. You're like, really? Do I take a chance because he fits the mold of what a quarterback is supposed to look like? Because he's 6'4" and he's got good arm strength? That doesn't always translate into an NFL player, you know? So we will see how it goes. We've got the draft, Big J, now less than 1 month away. Get ready to get ready. Speaking of the NFL, J.J. Watt is stepping into a new role for CBS. He, of course, was an in-studio kind of analyst for the NFL season last year, but now he's going to be a game analyst. He'll be teaming up with Ian Eagle as part of the number 2 team at CBS, while Jim Nantz and Tony Romo remain the network's number 1 duo. The Charles Davis, Eagles' former partner, will now be their lead college football analyst. So Charles Davis moving down to the college level, and J.J. Watt, who I think will be just fine as a analyst for NFL games, is going to move into the booth. What do you think about that, Big J?
Sure, man.
Any way that they can get less people off that desk in their pregame show, I'm all for. There's already too many people on every one of those shows. That, like, you get 2 sentences out of each.
3 guys.
Maximum. Yes, absolutely. It's all you need.
Instead of 7.
You don't need 7 to 10 people telling us 1
Fox,
sentence apiece.
You think so? Hopefully Fox doesn't replace Jimmy Johnson.
I don't know.
Because they got enough guys over there.
They have more than enough guys over there. You're absolutely
And Terry
correct.
Bradshaw, they could lose him too and be okay.
Yeah, listen. Again, they could lose half that staff, and they would still have a very viable and professional pregame broadcast and halftime show broadcast. But that's what they choose to do. Name recognition brings a lot. But also, I mean, let's be honest. Like, I mean, I don't watch that stuff you do. What else are you going to do? Do you know what I mean? Like, if they change things up or there's less people, are you not going to watch? Of course not.
Well, I don't watch that one anymore.
You watch the CBS one instead?
No, I don't. I actually watch usually ESPN.
How many people are on that one?
Well, they have, I think there's 4 guys on the desk, 4 folks on the desk, and then they bounce around during the day. On game day, in particular, to each stadium and
sure,
do a check in that way.
Yeah.
But it's usually 4, I think.
It's Randy Moss. Who else is on that?
Well, no, that's Monday Night Football.
Oh, okay. So who's on the desk?
It's usually Rex Ryan, and you've got oh boy, I don't remember.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Other than the foot guy, it's the only guy you remember.
Yeah, I mean, I love the feet dudes.
God, that's true. Hey, Nick Frost, known for his roles in Edgar Wright's Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, The World's End. is close to securing a deal to become the beloved character Hagrid in HBO's upcoming Harry Potter television series. It makes sense. Hagrid, of course, the gentle half-giant groundskeeper of Hogwarts. Robbie Coltrane portrayed him in the film adaptation. Big J, yes, he is no longer with us. Although, to be fair, even if he was, he wouldn't play the role. They're really recasting everybody in this particular situation, as this is a full-on reboot. But we will see. It does make sense. You can see him all hairy and in that role, right?
Yeah,
Nick
absolutely.
Frost feels like a perfect. He almost feels like a
messed up teeth and all.
Okay, all right, take it easy. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. It is the X Rocks.
Sure.
Highway to Hell. That is AC/DC here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J, and it is official, at least according to the University of Colorado, Big J. And I don't know how much actual weight you put behind that university, but they have done a sleep study, and they have done it for the last 25 years, Big J. That's a long time.
It's a really long time.
Watching people sleep real creepy like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they have found out that overall, women sleep less, wake up more often, and get less sleep overall compared to men. And you can pretty much blame it on biology. Researchers believe that one of the main reasons women sleep less is because they care more about you than you care about them, Big J. Because they take care of the young children, they take care of the family. Usually they take care of their significant other and their husbands. And so they're a little bit more sensitive to their environment, and they're lighter sleepers than their gentleman callers, Big J.
Interesting.
And this heightened sensitivity results in more frequent wake-ups and to check on their surroundings, make sure everybody and everyone is safe and everything is okay. And so they're much more likely to wake up than their male counterparts. So now you know, no matter how tired you feel, Big J, odds are your wife is probably more tired than you are. You understand me?
Oh, yeah.
And treat her with that kind of respect. Please, will you?
Okay.
For once? Now, I often have said, like, sleep studies are important, I think. I think they break down a lot of information. But I wonder about the accuracy of them in general, just because, like, I don't know, man. If it were me and I was in a strange place and I had a bunch of bleep hooked up to me, I don't think I'd sleep well no matter what. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I would be tossing and turning because they have all these things. I don't know. Have you ever done a sleep study? You had to, right? For your sleep apnea?
It wasn't like that. It wasn't.
What did they do? What was the one that you did?
I just did one from home.
What does that mean, though?
So you just record your sleep and you wake up and stuff, and it's not like they hooked me. I don't remember being hooked up to anything in particular.
Did you have like a watch on or something? How did you monitor when you woke up?
I may have had a Fitbit thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it kind of gave you like a basic understanding of it. You wouldn't go into like a place and have yourself be monitored or something like that. This is the kind of study that was, where like you're in a room and you're sleeping in a bed and people are looking at you through.
That would totally jack up my routine.
That's what I mean. Like it would not. I would not rest well no matter what. So I think whatever results they would get for me, it would be like that dude sleeps like garbage.
I'd feel like it was the beginning of Alien. They're on this quiet room. The next thing you wake up and there's xenomorphs everywhere.
Yeah. Now listen, I don't think that happens in sleep studies, to be fair. But I'm not saying it's out of bounds. I'm not saying Big J is wrong. I'm just thinking, like, I wonder how the results would be if they were all done in the comfort of your own home. But even still, like, even if I was at home, if I had, like, a bunch of stuff on my chest and sticky things on my head, I don't know if I would be able to sleep that great. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's how all sleep studies are. I was just thinking about, like, the sleep studies that I have seen or that I see go down. They're all in that particular kind of wheelhouse, and I'm like, I wonder how that would go. But please just remember that the woman in your life is probably sleeping a lot less than you are, Big J. And be kind, will you please, for once?
Okay.
Thank you. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Big J has a nerd alert for you. That's happening next on the X Rocks.
The nerds. Nerd talk.
The best in tech and gaming. Big J's Nerd Alert on 100.3 The X Rocks.
Hey, the PlayStation 5 release date for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle has been revealed. Machine Games' latest Nazi thwacking simulator will hit Sony's console on April 17th, so just 4 months after debuted on Xbox and PC. If you pony up for the digital premium edition or physical collector's bundle, you'll get an early access to the game on April 15th. Digital pre-orders are open now, and physical pre-orders go live tomorrow. Actually, a couple days ago. And, I'll tell you this. The game is great. It looks beautiful. I highly recommend it, Nick.
You played it?
Yes.
Did you finish it?
I haven't finished it, no. But it is a lot of fun, and it puts you right there. I mean, it's just, if you, I really enjoy when games, from movies, and they just, the music is there, and the voice actor they have, it's not Harrison Ford, but it sounds just like him, and it's quite incredible. So definitely worth it, and I'm glad that PlayStation is getting this because it's all about the games in the end.
It is third person or first person though, right?
No, it's third person too. I think.
Well,
I'll have to double check.
You don't remember?
I don't really pay attention to that as much as you do because it doesn't bother me to be in first person. So I don't really pay attention to when it's first person and third person.
I thought it was when I watched the gameplay trailer, which is what turned me off eventually. But I don't know. I mean, you let me know.
I'll let you know.
Thank you.
But you should try it anyways.
No.
You'll be okay.
If it's, I'm not going to spend $70 on it.
Sit down while you're doing it. You won't fall over.
It's not about falling over. It's about just not enjoying the gameplay experience.
Get a throw up bag.
I don't get sick. It's not an emotion sickness. I just don't like it.
All right. Nintendo Switch 2 rollout. The countdown is on as the Nintendo Switch 2 is expected to be released in June with games rolling out in 3 phases. The first wave of games expected in June will feature first-party titles like Zelda and Mario. The second phase will be around October and will feature third-party games. The final phase, set for November, should be a blend of both first-party and third-party titles just in time for the holidays. Now, Nintendo also surprised fans by announcing a Nintendo Direct that's airing today. So just under 1 week ahead of its planned Switch 2 event, which is next Wednesday. So this event will not include any updates on that Switch 2, but will focus squarely on the original Switch and some of the games they have coming for that. That's happening later today, about 9 o'clock our time. And officially announced earlier this month, Nick, Tony Hawk's Skater Pro Skater 3 and 4 is upcoming. The remake of the third and fourth entries is Activision's popular skateboarding series. Some controversy around it, and Tony Hawk had to step in, man, because Bam Margera appeared in both Tony Hawk's 3 and 4, but was missing from this remake. And a lot of speculation is because of some of the legal troubles he's had and substance abuse problems. But when Tony found out about it, he's like, He called Activision and said, listen, you need to put Bam in this game. He needs to be in the game. They're like, but sir, Mr. Tony Hawk, sir, we're already done with the game. I don't care.
Like hell you are.
Yeah, it's pretty much exactly what he said. And so immediately Bam had to fly into Activision and don the old suit with the little things and get into the game. So it will feature Bam Margera.
Now, I don't think anybody's proud of the struggles that Bam Margera has had over the last several years. And it's certainly been sad to watch that happen. But what a weird editorial decision to make, to remove somebody from a remake of a game because they've struggled with addiction. It's a really weird call.
Well, the addiction part, yes, but also the criminal issues that he's had.
I know. I
some
get
of those.
it.
But needless to say, I mean, it is one of those things where it's the gaming industry in particular really does that a lot when it seems like it's not necessary sometimes. And Tony Hawk is the guy that we love, and he said, nope, that's not happening. So good on him. Again, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 coming out April 27th. And you can pick that up. There's your Nerd Alert.
Oh, thanks, man. Morning After with Nick and Big J on the way. Important stuff, and we're going to go to hell. It's coming up here on the X Rocks.
Here's traffic.
Important stuff. On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Big J, you're different than most people. You've discovered that over the last couple of weeks when it comes to drinking soda.
Oh, yeah.
Your body just won't allow you to do it anymore.
Well, that's the medication, not my body.
Well, one and the same. But what happens when the rest of us drink soda? Well,
Your insides melt.
Scientists have found that if you drink a lot of sugar-sweetened beverages, it basically is because your body has been reprogrammed. Yes, sugar and soda makes our body crave even more sugar. It's the stuff our body craves, Big J. Like Idiocracy. Regular consumption of sugary drinks were linked to physical changes in the intestines as well. These changes prioritize sugar absorption and could result in molecular addiction. in the United
Molecular
States.
addiction.
That's right. Like your body craves it. God, you got to have that soda, bro. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. In the United States, almost half of adults drink at least one sugary beverage a day. Many health organizations recommending limiting added sugar consumption. But once again, hey, health organizations, don't tell us what to do. You're not the boss of us. Our intestines want this soda. That's why we drink it. Don't you understand? Our intestines, they can't live without that Mountain Dew, Big J.
Yeah, I guess not.
Put it in your body. So it is a good idea to try to cut down on these things. If you can cut it out entirely, well, listen, you're a better man than I. Best of luck. But if you are somebody that drinks soda on a regular basis, try to cut down on it before your molecular addiction takes you over. Next thing you know, your teeth are falling out of your body, Big J. You can't move on a weekend because you had a soda.
And you look like the Toxic Avenger.
Which one? The old one or the new one?
Both.
I mean, the new one looks like just like a suit. But get ready to probably cut some of that out of you so that you're a little bit healthy. All right? Thank you. Well, it is officially in the United States of America, Big J, opening day for baseball. Are you jacked?
Yeah, very much so.
Liar.
Let's go!
But they did a yearly survey, and they talked to a lot of baseball fans, of which Big J is not one of them, but they wanted their thoughts on the upcoming baseball season. And they had an idea as to who's going to have the best season, and much like Big J revealed before the season started, the New York Dodgers fans are the most optimistic heading into the season. Diamondbacks, Rangers, Mets, and Royals fans are also very excited to get on the field. On the other hand, boy, the Chicago White Sox fans could wait for 7 more years before this baseball season could start because they are the most pessimistic in Major League Baseball, followed by fans of the Rockies, of the Los Angeles Angels, the Cardinals, and the Miami Marlins. So those are the fans that have the most amount of excitement and the least amount of excitement heading into the next 162 games, baby. The season that never ends. Get ready to get ready. It is a very long year, but listen, baseball is a lot of fun. Listen, I know you didn't grow up around it, that's part of it, but going to a baseball game and enjoying some Major League Baseball is a lot of fun. It's very, very expensive these days, but all things are, Big J. What else are you going to do? So best of luck to your baseball team. I don't have any. I am a fan of the Milwaukee Brewers, Big J. I feel like this season will be like every other one, where they do really, really well in the regular season, and then the playoffs come, and they completely forget how to play baseball entirely, and it is an early exit. But you know what? I'll be on board for the whole ride, Big J. And you're welcome to hop on that Brewers train anytime you want to with me.
Choo-choo.
You want to come on board?
No.
We're celebrating Bob Uecker this year. It's a really big emotional season. Come on. Come on.
Nah.
Damn it. Marvel Studios yesterday spent a lot of the day letting you know who the cast is going to be for Avengers Doomsday. And I'm not sure once you knew that Robert Downey Jr. was coming back, there was a lot of surprises outside of a group of actors and actresses that I don't think anybody thought was going to be coming back into the MCU. Or maybe you did, depending on how much of the MCU you've been keeping up with, because I'll get into it in a second, but we already knew that Anthony Mackie was going to be a part of it as Captain America. Sure. We kind of had the idea that the younger Avengers that they're setting up with the Thunderbolts and all this kind of stuff are going to be a part of the crew, and they are very much so. But we also know that Letitia Wright will be back as Shuri/Black Panther. We know that Paul Rudd will be back as Ant-Man. Somehow, even though Loki wrapped things up perfectly for Tom Hiddleston and the character, they're going to bring him back as well. I don't think anybody's complaining about it. But Chris Hemsworth also going to be back as Thor. And then, of course, all of the Fantastic Four are going to be a part of it, as they are going to be introduced to the MCU coming up this summer. But maybe the biggest surprise was the fact that the original X-Men characters are going to be involved in this particular run.
I almost fell over dead when I saw Kelsey Grammer's
Well, he
name.
was in the last...
no, I know.
So, I mean, they introduced him already, so that should be not a surprise,
I understand,
really.
but I mean, in this the Avengers world, I mean, it just was like, oh my God, it's all happening. And then they do the reveal another day, and so I'm like, oh my God.
So James Marsden is coming back as Cyclops. Alan Cumming is coming back as Nightcrawler. Rebecca Romijn as Mystique. Ian McKellen will be Magneto. Patrick Stewart will be coming back as Professor X. No Phoenix in this particular run, so that makes me think at some point they're going to recast that character, because it's such an important part of what Marvel is about to do that they can't have somebody in that particular, but it just won't be Famke Janssen, I guess. So that's a kind of a bummer. But, because they're introducing this particular timeline into things. So we will see how it goes. We also know that Robert Downey Jr. is back as Dr. Doom, of course.
They also might be saving some other surprises.
Yes,
I'm sure.
I don't think that's everybody. But, it's a lot of people, a lot of storylines, a lot of things are happening. They made it all kind of come together with Endgame. But they have a lot. I mean, Endgame had years and years and years of setup. We have really, when you think about it, a couple of months of the Fantastic Four. And if Secret Wars and Doomsday are going to cover the way that it cover it, man, the Fantastic Four play a very, very big part of what is about to happen in the MCU. So they better hope that people enjoy the Fantastic Four like they think they're going to. And I certainly am hoping that I do. I am going into Fantastic Four wanting to love it. But here's what we know. Avengers Doomsday is going to open up in theaters in May 1st of 2026. And everybody is going to be a part of it.
The one thing is, at least I trust and know that the Russo brothers can handle all of that and somehow make it work.
We know that Channing Tatum is back. Do you think Deadpool pops up, Big J? Do you think Wolverine? I mean, we also didn't see Hugh Jackman's name as part of this cast announcement.
Yeah, I realize that, but at the same time, I mean, they got to save some surprises.
I suppose.
Those would be pretty big ones.
Maybe they just ran out of chairs, is what it really boils down to. A lot of chairs on that stage.
Either way, it was pretty damn exciting.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. We're going to go to hell next on the X.
Here's traffic. They're incredibly f***ed up. Oh, man, we're going to hell.
Oh, you know they're both going to hell, right?
The Morning After with Nick and Big J on 100.3 The X Rocks.
Great Bend, Kansas is where we're going to go for today's We're Going to Hell story, Big J. Now, I know for a long time in your life, and maybe still, we haven't talked about it in a while, not really a fan of children, Big J.
Hate them. Little kids in particular.
Yeah, you didn't really like little children. So I'm not sure in your younger years, teenage years, early 20s, that kind of thing, you were ever asked to babysit for some kid.
Oh, yeah. Babysit my nieces and nephews all the time.
About how old were they when that was the case?
I don't know, like 5, 6.
Is that what fueled your hatred for children?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's special. Sure. Oh, I'm just kidding. I don't actually hate kids.
But if you are familiar with the concept, or maybe you as a child yourself, there is that old kind of feeling that, oh my God, there's a monster under my bed, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like Metallica said.
It's all those crazy things that happen. You have these images as a child. You want to make sure you're safe. You hear something that goes bump in the night. You automatically think that, oh my God, there's a monster under my bed. So that's kind of the situation we're in Great Bend, Kansas here. A young lady is babysitting a child that she has been babysitting for the last 3 to 4 months on a fairly regular basis. Parents went out for a date night. Cool, have fun. We got it from here. Played a bunch of games. It was time for bed. Kid kind of crawled into bed. They read a bedtime story, turned off the lights, and like 10 minutes later, kid comes running downstairs and says, hey. I think there's a monster under my bed. Would you mind checking for me? Please, I beg of you, please. You're supposed to babysit me, please. And so the babysitter was like, absolutely. Everything's going to be fine. Let's go upstairs and check to see if there is a monster under your bed. Kid crawls into bed. Babysitter plays the role perfectly. I don't see a monster in this closet. There's no monster over here. Let's check under your bed. And as she pulls up the duvet, Big J, to check under the bed, she comes face to face with a dude that is hiding under the kid's bed.
No! What the hell? That's not real.
Sheriff's deputies arrived in the home just outside of Great Bend at 10:30 in the evening on Monday after they were called out about the disturbance. Apparently, after deputies arrived, the babysitter said that once the man was discovered under the bed, there was an altercation. He crawled out from underneath the bed, knocked over the babysitter and the kid while he could get out of the house, and then he fled the residence. The officers then checked the ring footage on the actual thing and did in fact see a man vacate the house at a high speed at that particular point. So they started looking in the area for the suspect. And then on Tuesday, Big J, they caught him. Martin Villalobos, a 27-year-old man, was arrested and booked into Barton County Jail on multiple charges, including aggravated kidnapping and child endangerment. And he is currently being held on $500,000 bond. Here is how it all happened, Big J. Martin used to rent the property. and wanted to still stay there, had an issue with the landlord, and felt like there was some stuff up in the attic that he thought still belonged to him that the landlord didn't give to him. Of course, there wasn't, but his plan was, because they never changed the lock, he still had a key to get into the house, got in. The plan was to hide under a bed until everybody went to bed and then try to get up into the closet, he says, to grab his stuff. But who knows if he just wanted to rob the place or do some property damage or whatever. But the point was, he still had keys to get into the house, and then he was going to hide. And why he chose the kid's bed, I don't know. But he was going to hide under the kid's bed until 10:30. The kid heard some rumbling, thought it was a monster. It was a damn person under his bed, Big J. That kid's never going to sleep again.
No.
Ever. And probably the babysitter either, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. This is how, Halloween started. Somebody babysitting their little brother. Nah, there's no monster here.
Are you saying that Martin Villalobos is Michael Myers?
He could be.
All right.
The real one.
Oh, good luck, kids.
Minus the murdering.
Oh, well, then it's not Halloween at all.
Well, not yet. We caught it. We caught it before it went bad.
A current protection order issued against him to stay away from the property. Obviously, that didn't work. But one would think if that were the case, you change out the locks, right, landlord?
Yeah.
I mean, make it as safe as possible for everybody involved. But there's some good old-fashioned nightmare fuel for you. Maybe there are such things as monsters under the bed, Big J.
Yeah, apparently.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your We're Going to Hell story. Hey, Krysten Ritter, huge actress. Maybe you watch Orphan Black Echoes. Maybe you watch Marvel's Jessica Jones. Well, she is talking about her brand new book, and she is on our show next on The X. Ozzy Osbourne, Mama, I'm Coming Home, here on The Morning After with Nick and Big J. We have got some star-studded guests on The Morning After coming up, and it all starts today with somebody that maybe you're familiar with if you watch the awesome hit show Breaking Bad. Perhaps you watch Marvel's Jessica Jones. Maybe you're going to be watching Dexter Resurrection. You're going to see her pop up on that. We're talking, of course, about Krysten Ritter, a wonderful actress, also happens to be a producer and a director and a novel writer. She's got a brand new book out called Retreat that is in stores tomorrow, and she joins us on the phone right now. Good morning, Krysten. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Very good. Thank you for making some time. I imagine things are probably pretty busy right now, right? I mean, you're doing a bunch of filming, and now you're also on a book tour for Retreat, correct?
Yes. I'm not going to lie. It's maybe the busiest I've ever been. I was like, what is happening? It's so exciting. I'm so fortunate. I'm so grateful. But yes, I'm in the middle of filming. I'm doing press to celebrate and launch Retreat, which comes out tomorrow and is my baby in a long, long process. I go back to filming, and I also have a 5-year-old, so we're busy.
Having to find time to do all this, Krysten, it's got to be difficult. But, you put out Bonfire a few years ago. Is that the reason why there's been so much distance between these books, or is it maybe you were just deciding on where to go next with your written style of working?
Yeah, a little bit of both, to be honest. The original idea for Retreat far precedes Bonfire. However, it was kind of after Bonfire, I was filming nonstop and kind of honing in on how I wanted the story to be. And then I started working with Lindsay on this version of where Retreat lands in about 2020. So this part of the process has been 4 or 5 years to write the whole book. And I had a baby, and I've been with him and filming nonstop. So it's a little bit of both. So it did take a little longer than I would have liked, but sometimes good things have to cook a little longer, and I'm really proud of how it all came together.
As well, you should be. I got a chance to read Retreat over the weekend. I couldn't put it down. It's really, really good. I enjoyed the story front to back, and I got to be honest, you talk in the acknowledgments about how many drafts it kind of went through to make this what it is, which is a fantastic page-turner, but did you, have an idea it wanted to take as many twists and turns as it does with Liz, or was it one of those things that just kind of came organically as you were writing it?
Well, I knew it wanted to be this. Listen, I like the kind of book that you can't put down because there's good twists coming, and I wanted there to be big reveals that didn't feel like you could, see them coming, or didn't feel like we've seen them before. And it evolved, of course, and there were so many drafts, and characters' names changed, and backstories changed, and getting to where it was took a lot of trial and error, a lot of whiteboarding, a lot of mapping, And it took a while to finally get here, but I'm glad to hear that you read it and you couldn't put it down. That's music to my ears. That's like exactly what we were going for.
It was great. It was really, really good.
Thank you.
It's, finding the freedom and being able to write, a long form thing like Retreat, a novel, versus writing perhaps for a script or even, acting in a role. Is there a certain kind of freedom that gives you the ability for creativity that you hadn't been able to find?
I do think, you get tons of real estate in a book, and you don't have to, make sure that this plot thing happens on page 30, and there's tons of freedom that you get to really explore and really, really go deep with your characters and your backstory. You can jump timelines. There's no rules writing on the page. I also, enjoy being able to do what I love from home. I still, because I work with Lindsay, my co-writer on this, I have that collaboration, support, back and forth that I love so much about doing TV and film, that collaboration. But this has me, at home instead of on set for 17 hours. So I get to see my son and still get to do the thing that I love to do. So yeah, it's a beautiful medium. I mean, sometimes it's paralyzing because you have 300 pages to fill, as opposed to 100 or 50.
Yeah.
So, but it's kind of to me, really, it's all the same thing.
Krysten Ritter joins us. She's the author of a brand new book called Retreat. It is out in stores tomorrow. Amazing. You can pick it up wherever books are sold. Krysten, obviously you're an actress, so when I'm reading Retreat, I'm picturing you in the role of Liz in my head as I'm turning the pages. You've done some acting, you've done some producing, you've done some directing, you've done some writing. Is it a goal to eventually bring this to the small or big screen? Is that something you'd like to see happen?
We are already in conversation.
Hey.
Adaptation, so fingers crossed that we'll be able to bring that to life. So that's been very exciting as well, to have a lot of interest in that area and to be able to talk about it in that way and come up with all of the ideas. And yeah, it's really exciting, and that's the goal. For sure.
That just to me seems like the coolest thing. I mean, stepping in and from getting into a position, Krysten, where you're acting and you make it through a tough, I think, industry of getting in there, and then you start your own production company. Where did all this inspiration for this relentless ass-kicking, come from?
I've always been very resourceful, and when I have an idea, I have a lot of ideas, and when I have them, I see them through. And now that could be a book idea, that could be an idea for a sweater I want to knit, or a song I want to learn on guitar, or an email I want to send. So it's my brain kind of keeps going, and it's my superpower, but it's also sometimes my kryptonite because I can get a little burned out. But I've just kind of always been unafraid to take risks, and I'm used to hearing no a lot. I've been doing, I've been in this business a very long time. I was scouted as a model when I was 15, and then from modeling, and then I went to acting, and then writing, and then producing and directing, and all of the things that I've done have been just by taking a swing, hearing no 100 times till I finally hear a yes. And one foot in front of the other. You keep going.
Happy you did. The book is called Retreat. Check it out. It's in stores tomorrow. Krysten, thank you very much for the time.
Thank you so much. Great to meet you.
Here's traffic inside the TDS Fiber traffic.
Important stuff.
What's going on in the news today?
The morning after with Nick and Big J.
Can I interest you in a summer vacation? This doesn't do you much good, Big J. But perhaps those people listening, because you don't have young children.
Oh, yeah, that's
but
right.
Perhaps some of you that are listening do have young children, and maybe it's still on their bucket list and your bucket list to at some point take them to Disney World. But you're like, man, I want to take my family to Disney World, but do I want to take out a second mortgage? I don't know. I've heard that Disney World is expensive. Big J won't stop talking about how expensive it is.
It is. It's very expensive.
Well, they're focusing on families this summer. For the first time ever, they're offering 50% off children's tickets. It's a first-of-its-kind offer for 3 days or longer. They'll give you 50% off. kids tickets for Disneyland. The vice president of customer experience and commercial strategy wants to offer half-price tickets because they have said that families may be priced out of going to Disneyland, specifically large ones with small kids, or they go, hey, listen, do I want to throw down $250 to have my 2-year-old go to Disney World? Is not going to remember it? Yeah. What am I doing?
No. Now you don't have to take out a HELOC loan. You just have to take a personal loan.
Half-price tickets
50% off.
Are on sale now for visits between May 27th through September 20th. Guests who visit this summer will be able to ride Big J, the Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin, before it closes permanently for enhancements and then opens up after a long period of time. So if you want to get in on that Buzz Lightyear ride, you better get there this summer. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
All right. I'm just making sure you know.
Thank you.
Because I like to keep people up on their thrill ride entertainment. And Disney World's making some changes. So take advantage if you'd like. But yeah, it's not cheap to make that trip. The Sweet 16 tips off in the men's basketball side of the bracket tonight. You got 4 games on the docket. BYU, Alabama kicks things off. Then Maryland, Florida, Arizona, Duke, and Arkansas, Texas Tech are the 4 games on the docket tonight. And we will see if your bracket still remains alive, if it may be. After those first 4 games, the second 4 will be played tomorrow as we get into the Elite 8, or hopefully. Netflix has officially confirmed a live-action Scooby-Doo series. They're bringing back that dog, and they're making it live-action like the movies. They're picking up the show for 8 episodes. It's set to delve into the origins of Mystery Inc. and their iconic Great Dane, of course, known the world over, Big J, as Scooby-Doo. The official description of the show hints at a modern reimagining of the cartoon, focusing on a haunting mystery during the Friends' final summer at camp. The live-action, of course, Scooby-Doo adaptation was a pretty big hit in the early aughts, penned by James Gunn, and then made a couple of movies that were very popular. And then they've done some animated features since then and have tried to kick things back up. But now we got a live-action. This appears to lean onto the younger side of Scooby-Doo, however. These kids in summer camp kind of focusing on the origins of Mystery Inc., if you will, Big J. So
nice.
Probably not in your wheelhouse, but if your kids enjoy Scooby-Doo, they might enjoy this as well.
I'll probably watch it because I love Scooby-Doo.
That is true. You have said that it's your comfort kind of show, right?
Yeah, I love throwing on those Scooby-Doo, the original and then the sequel. Not the cartoon. I mean, I'll watch the cartoon, but I enjoyed the live-action movies. They're fun.
It appears to be a new cast, but never know what's going to happen here or who might pop up. So you could be enjoying, looks like maybe early part of next year is when the Scooby-Doo live-action series will be headed to Netflix. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. We got your Pop Culture Smackdown next on the X.
Here's traffic inside the TDS Fiber Traffic Center on 100.3 The X.
This traffic report.
Culture Smackdown. On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
You had a great morning after prize package here. We have a couple of concerts hitting the Rev Center next week. On Tuesday, we've got Machine Head. And then Wednesday, Under Oath. Under Oath coming in for an X session as well. It's going to be a hell of a week. We'll get you set up with both pairs of tickets to the shows if you can beat Nick and Pop Culture Smackdown, baby.
You want to invite him to the X session too?
You know what? Let's invite him to the X session. What a great idea.
Thanks, man. So it's a pretty nice prize package if you want to get in on this. 208-287-1003 if you'd like to play Pop Culture Smackdown. Been pretty easy to win these last couple of days. All you got to do is defeat me in Pop Culture Smackdown. We got a bunch of things coming your way, including an opportunity to meet Under Oath here in Studio 1X when we do an X session with them around noon on the 2nd. It's going to be a very good time. So, best of luck to everybody. Big J, you got your questions?
I got them ready.
All right, buckle in. Here we go. Hello, the X.
Hello. How's it going?
How you doing, man? What's your name?
Chris.
All right, Chris, you're up first, man. Good luck.
In the 80s, Jennifer Grey starred opposite Patrick Swayze in this movie about dancing.
Dirty Dancing?
Yeah, that's right. Nick, Dirty Dancing, what's the first time that Swayze and Grey starred in a movie together? Name the other 80s movie they worked on.
Red Dawn.
Red Dawn is correct. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
While writing his script for Reservoir Dogs, director Quentin Tarantino worked at a what? Convenience store, a bank, or a video rental store?
I'm going to go with a video rental store.
That is correct. Nick, can you tell me the name of that video store that Tarantino worked at?
Do I get options?
No.
I have to know the name of a local video store in California?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay.
Listen, you are an advanced trivia person. If I give you clues, you will get it right.
Here's what I do know. That store closed down and Quentin Tarantino purchased all the inventory and then rebuilt the video store in his basement. That much I do know. I do believe it starts with video, but that's as close as I got. I'm going to say Video Dreams.
Oh, you're so close. You're so close. Wrong. You were on the right track, and this is why if I gave you clues, you would have gotten this right. Video Archive.
Video Archive.
Right.
All right, well, listen, I'll take close enough, not enough to win, but I feel better about at least hitting some of the way there. Hey, congratulations, Chris. You got yourself tickets to go check out Machine Head and Under Oath, and you're invited to the X session. Hang on just 1 second, brother. Congratulations on your victory, and enjoy that, and we'll see you at the X session. Morning After with Nick and Big J. We got your headlines. They're next on the X Rock. Brought to you by Inflation Domination. We are mere moments away from your next password and keyword into perhaps $2,025. It's a pretty big deal thanks to Dollar Loan Center, Dennis Dillon Auto Group, and the Advocates Injury Attorneys. We'd like you to win, so listen a little after 9 o'clock for your first chance, then at 11, 1, and 3 for following keywords. Text those into us, and you are instantly qualified. You can get your name up to 4 times into the hopper for the daily drawing. All you have to do is listen constantly and text as soon as you hear those keywords, and boom, you are in. Check out more details at xrock.com, but we got Inflation Domination coming up in a few minutes. Headlines are as follows. You demanded it. Poor bear, and it worked in the movie.
It worked in the movie?
A Florida man was arrested for drug possession when he tried to use the Jedi mind trick on police, but apparently only Obi-Wan Kenobi can pull that off.
Or a real Jedi.
Cops say that Thomas pulled over 41-year-old Thomas Carpenter for a routine traffic stop and found evidence of drug use in the car. He, of course, was with his girlfriend and 2 children in the back seat. Officers found drug paraphernalia and a bunch of meth in the car. They also noticed that Carpenter was having trouble staying awake. His female companion said they smoked weed in the car before they were pulled over, but when they found the meth, that was about it. The woman was left off with a warning, but Carpenter was placed under arrest while he was being booked and searched. The officers found several small bags of meth hidden in his underwear, to which he said, "These are not the drugs you're looking for." And it didn't work. Unfortunately, he was unable to control their minds, and he was hit with additional drug charges, Big J.
I wonder if the officer was tempted just to be like, just to play along for a second. Huh? Yeah, okay. Hey, this guy doesn't have any drugs. That would be so hilarious.
It would be amazing. Because you know he's high on meth, and he'd probably be like, "Oh my God.
It's working. It's working. I'm a Jedi."
Looking at his hands going, huh?
Like Kevin Smith in Mallrats.
Yeah. But alas, he was arrested. So yeah, the Jedi mind trick does not work unless you're a actual sanctioned Jedi, Big J, and I don't think Thomas is.
No, not doing the drug.
You demanded it, or poor bear?
Poor bear.
A British judge admonished members of the Royal Air Force because they vandalized a statue of poor Paddington Bear, Big J.
What?
22-year-olds Daniel Heath and William Lawrence confessed that they were the ones responsible for breaking and stealing the statue on March 2nd. The men were reportedly intoxicated as they made their way past the icon, which of course was sitting on a bench, and they ended up breaking him off the bench and then stealing him. And the judge said that their actions were the antithesis of everything Paddington stands for. He represents kindness and tolerance and promotes integration and acceptance in our society, and you just stripped him away from his little bench there.
How dare you?
The artwork had been specially installed last fall thanks to the release of Paddington in Peru, and now it needs to rebuild because these guys tried to probably have some marmalade sandwiches with this statue because they were so drunk. Stop breaking things when you're hammered, everybody. Come on.
Yeah.
We're better than that. Regardless of what country you're in. Knock it off. We'll wrap it up with You Demanded It. Big J, not a day goes by you don't ask me about it. And finally, mom-friendly brand Frida has made a unique frozen treat. They are offering up breast milk flavored ice cream for consumers nationwide, Big J.
Yeah.
Research has shown that 70% of women have sampled their own milk, and 29% of men are interested in trying it, Big J. What do you think?
No, gross.
Little morning after taste test for you? Now, Frida breast milk ice cream is not made with actual breast milk. You need to know that.
What a lie, then.
But it is packed with the same nutrients found in the real thing, which is omega-3s, lactose, iron, and calcium. You can find out the product details on Frida.com, which is a website you have bookmarked, Big J.
No, I don't.
I don't have to tell you where to find this information.
You do have to tell me.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your headlines. You're up to date on everything. As previously mentioned, inflation domination next on the X Rocks. Hot Chili Peppers, Scar Tissue here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. And Big J, like Nicolas Cage said in the remake of The Wicker Man, the bees, my God, no, not the bees.
Yeah, bees, as it turns out, Nick, are really important to our environment, and it's not such great news here. Over the past few years, we have had declining honeybee population, and experts are saying 2025 could be the worst year yet. In fact, over the past decade, bee colonies have suffered annual losses of 40% to 50%, but entomologists say this year it could be up to 70% due to nutrition deficiencies, mite infestations, viral diseases, and other possible pesticide exposure. The problem isn't just that we won't have honey, Nick, that is delicious. More than 1/3 of our food supply relies on pollination, so everything from almonds to apples could be scarcer and much more expensive. That's not what we want to hear.
Well, Big J, you're an amateur beekeeper at home. What are your recommendations? How do we save them?
We need Jason Statham now more than ever. The beekeeper. He's got to protect the hive.
He does have to protect the hive. Although, in the reference to the movie The Beekeeper, a touch different. Although he does do some beekeeping in that movie, it's not necessarily in that world, or at least that's not what the movie's about. But I do believe Jason Statham could help.
It was pretty important to him. I think that he could. But, as a kid, obviously, bees are a nuisance. And, people who are allergic to them, it's bad news. But I used to be for eradicating them. But, once you understand how important they are to the rest of the ecosystem, it's important to understand that we need them.
Well, it's also, important to differentiate between, I think anytime somebody sees something like big and yellow buzzing around, they automatically think that it's a bee. But there's a vast difference between what honeybees do and what they're there for, and the world of wasps and yellow jackets who are just bastards.
The worst.
That can sting at any given moment and will sting at leisure and often, and it sucks. Bees, of course, are usually doing it in a protective way and realize that they die when it happens. So it's like it's hairy-carry every time they do it.
I don't think they know, though.
You don't know what bees know. I'll tell you that right now.
You're right. I mean, I'm just guessing they probably, unless they're scientists.
You don't think that they have bee friends, and then one of them makes a sting, it doesn't come back. They don't talk about what happened to Frank today. You're crazy.
It's like a big mystery, like Lost. There's like bees.
Every time one of us comes out and they sting, they don't come back.
Oh, no.
There's a big mystery about it.
I will say this. I feel like honey is I think peak when it comes to popularity and being used in products, because hot honey is all the rage now. I mean, everything has hot honey on it. There's so many different brands of it now. Honey seems to be a hot item.
And you love it, too.
I love it.
So, yes, do what you can to make sure that you're protecting bees. Do what you will. I will not stop you from getting rid of wasps or yellow jackets or hornets. That won't happen. But bees are a very important part of the ecosystem. We need them to survive. And so do your best to make sure that you're as friendly to them as you possibly can be. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, we need you, beekeeper.
We thank you, and Jason Statham thanks you. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Some bad impressions are next on the X Rocks.
Hi, Jay.
Yep, great Morning After prize package here for Bad Impressions today. We got 2 great shows happening at the Rev Center next week. On Tuesday, the first, we got Machine Head. And then the next day, Wednesday, Under Oath is coming to town, and they're coming in for an X session as well. So guess what? You're going to win all this goodies, man. Both pairs of tickets to the shows, and then X session passes to come in and hang out and see those guys throw it down acoustic. It's really, really fun. And it really easy. You just need to figure out bad impressions here this morning. You can do it.
208-287-1003. That Big J vote of confidence should get you dialing and making sure that you're ready to play. 3 clues is what you get that'll point you in the direction of somebody pretty famous. If you can figure out who that person is in 3 clues or less, congratulations. It's you that is going to win this entire prize package. Big J, are you ready?
I was just practicing, yeah.
All
I got
right.
an impression
I'm excited.
to do.
I'm excited.
You already know what it is.
Hello, the X. Oh, we sound good.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, man? What's your name?
Will.
All right, Will, you're up first. Good luck.
You know, it ain't easy being green. I wrote a hit song in the 70s about it.
Next one.
Heck, being a Muppet isn't easy, if I'm being totally honest.
Kermit the Frog.
Hi-ho!
Nailed it.
Or
Hang on
Patrick
1 second.
Mahomes. I mean, either one. I would have taken either one.
Hang on 1 second, Will. We will hook you up with that prize package. It was Heidi Ho, clue 3.
Heidi Ho, have you seen Miss Piggy?
And why is Kermit the Frog in the news?
The University of Maryland announced that Kermit is going to be delivering their 2025 commencement address on May 21st. The president of the Daryl J. Pine said, "I'm thrilled that our graduates and their families will experience the optimism and insight of the world-renowned Kermit the Frog at such a meaningful time in their lives."
Now, 2 thoughts on this. Number 1, I never graduated college, but if my commencement speaker was Kermit the Frog, I would be over the moon about it.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Number 2, do you think kids graduating from college today give a rat's ass about Kermit the Frog? I mean, these are 21, 22-year-old kids.
Yeah, it's on the borderline, really,
Right.
of even knowing who Kermit the Frog is.
Right.
So, hard to say. But maybe their parents are getting them stoked and excited. But it's going to be, I mean, what a tough job for whoever is the voice of Kermit, right? They got to go out there.
Uh-huh.
Do they have to write the speech, or are they just saying the speech?
I'm sure they're reciting the speech. The speech will be written for them that they have to do, but they still have to do it live. They still have to do the puppeteering. They still have to probably do the voice, and they have to sit there and do it. Unless, now listen, it's 2025. Reality could be that they record this in advance, and he's just got to limp sync it with the puppet, doing the thing.
Yeah.
And that could be a possibility as well. So it may not be all real life going on at the actual commencement speech, but still, there's a lot of work that goes into it, I would say. I don't think if you're the puppeteer for Kermit the Frog, you have to write the commencement speech, though. No, I don't think that would be part of your duty.
Interesting. Either way, yeah, that would be pretty cool. I guess it'd be a little different than some other person coming in.
Yeah, listen, it's some other. Usually, it's 99.9% of the time it's some jamoke you've never heard of that tells you things that you probably already are like, yeah, I know. It's tough out there. We're gonna do good. Everybody's got faith in you. Go get him, Tiger.
Believe in Muppets.
But Kermit the Frog giving you a pep speech? Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now we're cooking with grease. Morning After with Nick and Big J. We're going to wrap up the show here next on the X Rock. Krysten Ritter for coming on the show, talking about her brand new book called Betrayal. You can check it out. And Retreat is also available in stores coming up here on Friday, so make sure you grab it. It's a very good book. A really nice kind of con artist story about getting caught in a situation where they may be a little bit over their head. And Krysten was a fantastic guest. If you missed the interview, make sure you check it out on all of the Morning After social media pages and, of course, in the podcast section as well. You can hear the entire interview if you missed any of it. And we also had a chance to give away some tickets to go check out Under Oath and Machine Head. That's a good thing. And apparently there are such things as monsters under the bed. So make sure you look twice under your bed before you go to sleep at night. Big J, that leaves you the floor, sir.
Yeah, hell of a show here today, Nick. And as you had mentioned in the socials, you can check out the show at YouTube with our video podcast. So you can see our dumb-looking faces. Unfortunately, Krysten Ritter, we didn't get a Zoom with her, but several of the interviews we do are Zoom, and you can find them there. And usually across the other social platforms, as you mentioned, our Morning After Facebook page has that Krysten Ritter interview up there now. So go check it out and enjoy. Make sure you like and subscribe those things, and maybe put in a comment or whatever that helps the quote algorithm unquote.
And share with your friends, your loved ones,
the people you hate.
Favorite it. Yeah, you'll hate this too.
God, these two guys are jackasses. You'll love them.
Anything you can do to assist would certainly be appreciated. Thank you very much for listening over the years. But yeah, we're trying to kick things up a notch, and that's a great way that you can do exactly that with us. Next set of X-Rock brought to you by our friends at T Mazda in the Pre-Owned Superstore. If you're looking for a new or used vehicle, check out GoTMazda.com. Great place to get started if you're looking for a vehicle. They've got the iPrecheck button right there. You click on it, find out what you're pre-qualified for before you even step foot on the lot. It is a wonderful tool, and it's available for you at GoTeamMazda.com. That is it for us. Jason Drew's up next. Y'all have a good one. It's the X Rocks.
Top